Hey brothers and sisters, Matt Hatton here. So today, or in this video, we're going to be covering Merlin. He is one of the Knights of Avalon family members. So Merlin is a pretty interesting hero. He's doing some cool things. So let's jump into it. We'll take a closer look and see what Merlin's all about. So Merlin is a part of the Knights of Avalon family. He's a dark wizard, and he is an epic hero. So you can fully ascend him to 470 if you want to take him all the way up. When fully ascended, Merlin is going to have attack 682, defense 660, and health 975. His special is called Arcane Blast, and he's running at average mana speed. So Merlin is dealing 220% damage to a single target. And then the more mana the enemies have, the more damage they will receive, up to 250%. And then when they reach full mana, if it's within 3 turns of Merlin attacking, the target will automatically cast Mindless Attack on a random ally, which is essentially going to cancel out that target's special. And then that target is going to attack and do damage to one of its allies. So if you do want to fully ascend Merlin to 470, it is going to require 1 compass, 1 fine gloves, and 4 trap tools. And then in addition to any food it's going to take to feed him up to this point, it's going to cost you an additional 442,000 food to reach Ascension level 4. As a wizard, if you take him or want to take him up all the way up to 20, it's going to cost you 505 wizard emblems. The path, if you follow the sword path, is going to give you 814 attack, 696 defense, and 1076 health. And then if you follow the shield path, it's going to give you 739 attack, 769 defense, and 1155 health. So because of the way Merlin's built, I'm definitely going to recommend you follow the sword path because you want to increase the attack, and you don't really need to focus too much on his defense or health because you're going to tuck him in probably to a flank. Maybe a wing, but I probably recommend, just tucking him in behind the tank as a flank. As far as the emblem path for the wizard, the ability is going to be called Jinx that you're working towards. If you take him all the way up to 20, it's going to give you a 25% chance to deal plus 15% damage for each active buff on the enemy. So this ability is really nice in buff battle if you were to bring Merlin in as part of your team in that tournament. And then again for the emblem path, just follow the swords down the board. I don't think it's going to make or break it if you choose a sword path with a shield over health. But just do make sure that if you are embleming him, then just follow the sword path. As far as the troops that you're going to want to use, as always, as long as it's not in a tournament that's going to max his troops at 3-star. If you're able to use 4-star troops, go with the mana troops. You can use the base mana troops at level 1 or low or higher, slightly higher. You're going to get a nice attack buff on him. The critical troops, until you get the mana troops up higher, are a very feasible option for him as well, because the critical troops are going to be raising his attack, raising his chance to do a critical strike, and then they're also giving him a pretty decent boost in health and defense. In the base form, without any increase from the mana troops, his charge rate is going to take 10 dark tiles to fully charge his special, and then if you ghost tiles, it's only going to be 5. And then as far as the mana troops, do keep in mind, with him running at average speed, it's going to require the mana troops reach level 23 to make any type of difference as far as his charge rate. At level 23 mana troops, you're going to take or move his charge rate or his mana speed from average to fast. And then for the Knights of Avalon family bonus, if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these heroes in your team, you're going to be getting a plus 5, 10, 15, or 20% increase of critical chance. And then for healing, you're going to be increasing your healing by 4, 6, 9, or 13%. So as far as a example family bonus build where you could work Merlin in, I would say if you have Guinevere as a tank, you could have Merlin and Sir Lancelot as the wings, providing some decent attack. And then I have Morgan Le Fay and King Arthur as the wings, just to increase the attack a little bit further. So this would be more of an attack team than a defensive team. But hopefully you get the idea here as far as kind of how I would position Merlin. As far as a more realistic option, because you're probably not going to have several of these Knights of Avalon heroes, you could do a 4-1 build with 4 dark heroes and 1 holy hero. I would recommend putting Delilah or another holy tank as the out front as the tank. And then I would have Merlin as flank 1 and Cyprian as flank 2. So Merlin, one, you want him as the flank to keep him protected. But then you also have Cyprian as flank 2. So Cyprian is providing a nice counterattack that's going to go on top of Delilah and Domitia. So it's hopefully going to give Delilah a chance to fire off her special, which is going to provide healing for you. And then a nice minion out front that gives your team an extra layer of defense through health. And then I have Tibertus as wing 1. Tibertus in his base form is going to provide you with a multi-target up to 3 target attack and decrease the defense from those targets. And then in the costume form of Tibertus, if you run him, you can of course take the or attack the entire enemy team and then also take the defense down. And then the reason why I have Domitia in this build is Domitia provides a pretty decent attack, but one of her key parts of her special is increasing the defense against holy attacks by a very significant amount. I believe it's maybe 80% or 90%. It's essentially nullifying most of the damage that would be coming at you from holy heroes. So she's a really good combination, or a really good hero to have in any 4-1 team that's primarily dark, in my opinion. This is a very tanky team. It's not going to be going too crazy with attacks, but not a bad build. And it's a good way to work Merlin into a situation where maybe his mindless attack will kind of help you. This would definitely be a team where it's a little bit slower way to play, but not a bad option if you want to try out Merlin and you have these heroes or some similar heroes that you can work in the similar positions. So as far as Merlin, I have him as part of what I'm calling mindless meta because he's doing the mindless attack. So with Merlin, again, he's a single target and he's trying to time his attack into the target so that they have more mana, first of all, so that he's doing more damage. And then second of all, the more mana they have, the faster that they will get to full mana, so the mindless attack will hopefully go off within the 3 turns that it is on that enemy. So another option in this meta would be Zoc. He's a past hero of the month. The thing about Zoc that makes him a little bit better than Merlin, other than he's a 5-star legendary, but the way that he's doing his mindless attack or his specials is a little different. He's doing his 300 damage to the target, but what you'll notice about Zoc is, in addition to casting mindless attack, he's also increasing the mana of the target by 50%. So he's essentially ensuring that the target will get mindless attack going off right away, or it'll be happening pretty soon. So I wanted to bring Zoc up just so that you can understand kind of why I'm a little concerned with Merlin, because Merlin's special has a larger chance of not going off, especially if you fire him off with bad timing into an enemy. Where 3 turns go by, that mindless attack will essentially go away and you're going to have to cast his special again. And then, the king or queen, I should say, of mindless meta is definitely Alfreak. She's doing what Zoc and Merlin are doing, but she's essentially doing it times 5 because she's casting 5 dark cubes, and every one of those dark cubes is going to apply the mindless attack special on the target. So if you got lucky with Alfreak, she could actually put 1 cube into each of the enemy team and essentially silence the whole enemy team. Her cubes can stack up and multiple cubes can hit the same target. But again, I think you get the idea about, Alfreak obviously being so great with her mindless attack. Zoc would be, second as far as, a great hero with that. And then Merlin, unfortunately, is kind of in third place because his mindless attack just kind of leaves too much of a question mark as far as if it's going to work, or if it'll go off. And actually, the mindless attack will get to the target that you actually wanted it to get to. So as far as Merlin, I would say his best position is definitely flank. You could run him in a wing in some scenarios. When it comes to Titans, with him being dark, he's obviously going to be a hero that you would want to bring in as a holy or against a holy Titan. But I give him a B on the Titans. It's not because of his attack. It's because mindless attack, especially when you're dealing with like a Titan that's the only target on the board, mindless attack can be very effective against Titans. It can essentially, instead of just stunning them, it's putting a similar to a stun on them, but then they're also damaging themselves. So it with timed right or timed well, it is a good way to kind of slow down that Titan, so that you can move some tiles around and hopefully charge up some of your other heroes. So Merlin's not the best hero against Titans, but he does have some utility there. For wars, I'm going to give him a B. This might be a little bit generous, but again, if you can control the timing of when Merlin goes off, or his special goes off, he's not a bad hero. You just want to make sure you're firing him into targets that are really close to full mana, so that you're maximizing that damage. And then just keep your fingers crossed that when they cast mindless attack on one of their allies, it goes to an ally that is gonna be good for you. That it doesn't get wasted. As far as a defense hero, I'm gonna give him a C. He's not a great hero in the hands of the AI. Again, with the timing, you really want to be able to control him. So defense is probably not a great option for Merlin. For raids, similar. I'll give him a B, same way I did with wars. Just be careful on your timing when you're using him. For tournaments, I'm going to give him a B across the board. Depending on the tournament or what other heroes you have, he would be a feasible option in most tournaments. He would be pretty cool to have in a buff tourney, but he would do well in a rush attack, because he's not really doing anything as far as healing, so you're not losing a special there, and then he can essentially just confuse or lock down one of the targets on the enemy team. And then for events, I'll give him a B as well. He's not great, but he's not bad, so he's definitely serviceable. So overall, Merlin is a B. If you do get lucky and pull him, you should be happy with him. He is a fun hero. You'll definitely have some uses for him. And if you do already have this hero and you have some thoughts or maybe some ideas that I didn't cover, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on it. And then, as always, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like these reviews. And we will close this video out so we can get on to the new one. But thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you soon on the next video. Take care, everybody.